begin with that breaking news where in the last several hours, Henry County Sheriff Reginald Scandrett confirmed that the man wanted for killing 4 people in Hampton Saturday, Andre Longmore, was shot and killed. 3 members of law enforcement, including a Henry County deputy and a Clayton County officer, were also shot. 2 of them are in the hospital tonight. Well, we have a live look from News Chopper 2 over where all this happened near Mount Zion High School in Jonesboro. That's about 12 miles away from the Dogwood Lake subdivision where that shooting happened yesterday. We also have live Team 2 coverage at that scene and at Grady Memorial Hospital where those injured law enforcement officers are being treated. We start with Channel 2's Larry Sproul in Clayton County. And Larry, you spoke with those who saw that confrontation that ended this manhunt.
And Candace, yes, we are right here at that scene where both witnesses and police say all of this ended. Now, we are about 12 miles or so away from the shooting yesterday, just right down the street near Mount Zion High School. You can see a very large police presence, police tape, and several agencies are out here as well. But just a few minutes ago, we got the names of those victims that were the police chief released during a press conference. We're talking about 67-year-old Scott Levitt, 66-year-old Shirley Levitt, 65-year-old Steve Blizzard, and 66-year-old Ronald Jeffers. Now, police responded to this area a little before 4 after getting reports that Andre Longmore was walking around in this area. Witnesses told me there was a shootout between Longmore and police. The Henry County deputies confirmed that suspect is dead tonight, and I talked to one witness who said the suspect barged into his home and started shooting at police. It's an interview you will only see here on Channel 2 Action News. Take a listen.
There was a gentleman, a naked gentleman, in the backyard with a gun, crouched down by the grill. He was begging me to open up the door to let him in. The cops came through the front door, opened up the back door. He started immediately shooting inside of the house. He shot an officer. He shot the officer, and the cops shot him like 8 times.
Such a scary situation for that witness. I also asked that witness how he was feeling. What was he thinking during all of this while it was happening? Also hear more from him and other witnesses coming up tonight at 11. We are live in Jonesboro. Larry Sproul, Channel 2 Action News.
All right, Larry, thank you so much. And Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winne continues our live Team 2 coverage from Grady Memorial Hospital. And Mark, that's where the injured deputy and officer were taken.
And at about 5:45 p.m., Henry County Sheriff Reginald Scandrett told me a Henry County deputy shot in the back during an encounter with suspected killer of 4, Andre Longmore, this afternoon, was being prepared for surgery and was alert and conscious. The sheriff says he asked for prayers. Hampton City Manager Alex Cohilas says he's been told a Henry County Sheriff's deputy and 2 Clayton County police officers were shot and wounded in the encounter with suspect Andre Longmore. The Henry County deputy we've given you details on. Manager Cohilas indicated 1 Clayton County police officer took a shot to the chest, but that it did not penetrate the vest, according to what Cohilas has been told. But that officer was taken to Grady as a precaution. He indicated he'd been told the other Clayton County officer was grazed, and suspect Andre Longmore was deceased at the encounter with police today near Mount Zion High School. Reporting live outside Grady Hospital, Mark Winne, Channel 2 Action News.
All right, Mark Winne with that exclusive information that 3 officers injured in this shootout. Mark, thank you. Again, police say that Andre Longmore is dead after a confrontation with police. A deputy and an officer in the hospital. We know a 3rd officer also shot, but is expected to be okay after he was grazed. Stay with Channel 2 Action News for continuing coverage here and on WSBTV.com.
Candace, she agreed to open up to me here, and she said that she was sorry, and the officers here said the first thing she said to them after learning about how the rampage ended is that she's sorry officers had to have her son's blood on their hands. Just as she learned her son was dead, this Hampton mother expressed sorrow for families and officers he hurt.
I feel it so much for the families, and I just want to say I'm very, very sorry. You know, I know words cannot really comfort them from me at this time, but I know that there is a comforter, and they can refer to him at any time.
Investigators say Lorna Dennis's son Andre Longmore killed 3 men and a woman during a shooting rampage Saturday in the Dogwood Lake subdivision of Hampton. Sunday, the search for him ended less than 20 miles away with more gunfire. 3 officers shot and Longmore killed in this Jonesboro neighborhood.
It's hard to lose a son, and it's also hard to know that your son cost the life of so many people. And I think about the family more than even how I think about my son.
Dennis says her son lived with her in the Hampton neighborhood where the mass shooting unfolded. He was a master mechanic, a surgical instrument technician. He was a sergeant in the United States Army, a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne.
In 2014, he had a mental breakdown, and he was in the VA hospital for 10 days. And after he came out, he wasn't like the same again. He just keep deteriorating until now. I tried to get some help from him, but they keep saying that he has to commit a crime or like break up the house or anything, try to hurt himself. But if he wasn't doing that, then he has to come in voluntary to get medical attention. But he said he doesn't need it and he doesn't want it.
She said she feared his life would end in crisis.
He wasn't on any medication or anything.
Courtney Francisco back live with us. And Courtney, you spoke to that mother. Did she give any indication of why he targeted those neighbors?
She said he did not know them. It was seemingly random. And she only expanded that doctors suspected he had PTSD and schizophrenia.
So many questions still left, but Courtney, that answered a lot of them for us tonight. Thank you so much.
With breaking news, while you were sleeping, the Clayton County Sheriff's Office sent out an alert about a kidnapping and death investigation near a high school. Within the last hour, we got a significant update on the case. 11 Alive's Ariana Maniz is live at Lovejoy High School. You've been following this throughout the morning. Ariana, break down what happened with this victim and what we know about the suspect.
Well, Sherrill police tell us a 19-year-old woman was shot and killed by her 20-year-old boyfriend. And the road behind me that runs alongside Lovejoy High School is where police say the situation ended. Now, the initial call came in around 11 p.m. last night. Police, they got several calls about the 19-year-old being kidnapped from her job by the boyfriend at gunpoint. In Fayette County police, they chased the suspect's vehicles here into Clayton County. And where it all ended here at Lovejoy High School, police say the suspect fired several shots inside the car, also firing shots at police multiple times. Police, they were able to get the suspect out of the car using a tear gas. That's when police say they found the 19-year-old inside the vehicle with several gunshot wounds. The 20-year-old is now in custody, charged with kidnapping and aggravated assault. Now, this investigation, although police cleared the scene, they're still investigating this situation. Police tell us Clayton County Police, they will handle the homicide investigation. As we continue to get more information from police, we'll be sure to bring that to you live on air as well as online. Back to you.
Good morning. Today is Monday. It is July 17th. The year is 2023. What a weekend in Naperville, y'all. I mean, wow. A guy goes crazy, and was already crazy, according to his mother. Shoots and kills 4 innocent people in a middle-class black neighborhood. She lived there, and his mother lived there in the neighborhood. His guy decided to grab a gun. I always wonder where these crazy people get these guns from. If family members know that they have a family member, if people know they got a family member who's kind of cuckoo patty crazy or having mental health issues, and they have a gun, shouldn't they alert someone, tell somebody, do something? Where did they get these guns from? This man decided to grab a gun and shoot and kill 4 innocent people. Clearly, his mother said that he had some mental health issues going on. He was not on any medication or being treated or any damn thing. And there was nothing she could do about it. This is very common in black neighborhoods. Whether we want to admit, y'all, in Niggerville, we don't go to doctors. We don't go get help. We don't do any of the above until disaster strikes. And in this instance, 4 people lost their lives, 2 officers were shot, and then the suspect was shot and killed. So here's the deal, y'all. It just seems odd that so many black men and women suffer from mental illness within our communities, but we choose to ignore it and sweep it under the rug. In fact, whenever I have these conversations about mental health and mental illness within the black community, the people are quick to say, that ain't the problem. And it's like, okay, it isn't. Okay, y'all don't get it. That's why I refuse to live in an all-black neighborhood, because I've seen this crazy shit by the people who live there, or their family members, or a friend, or somebody hanging around. I've seen it in my own family. So, and then we have another incident where a young man, 20 years of age, kidnaps his 19-year-old girlfriend, and this was his second time doing this. He was out on bonds because he did this last year sometime. I don't know if it's the same woman that he kidnapped then, but he kidnapped the woman a year ago, or sometime last year, last fall. Held a gun to her head, kidnapped her, and then, how the fuck do you get bond on kidnapping? How was he out on the streets? So that he was able to do this the second time. I'm willing to bet this is the same victim that he killed this time. He threatened to kill her then, but he let her go. But this time around, y'all, a 20. And if y'all don't think that there's some serious mental illness involved in this 20-year-old kid kidnapping a 19-year-old ex-girlfriend, when there are billions of women on planet Earth. Well, we already know that a lot of these black guys will kill their ex-girlfriends and ex-wives in a heartbeat. They ain't even got to think about it. And this girl's gone. He kidnapped her from a Wingstop restaurant. I think the previous kidnapping was at a Walmart or something. He went to some site. There are a couple articles I saw. Y'all better be careful out there with these crazy niggas. Because in Niggerville, these niggas are truly insane. Keep your distance. If you know like I know. These people are insane and crazy as hell. And they do a lot of crazy shit that's hard to even understand. And family members know these niggas be crazy. They know these people are insane and crazy. She at least could have put an alert out to the neighborhood, hey, my son is crazy, watch his ass. Probably wouldn't have did no damn good. But at least something better than nothing. I cannot live in those neighborhoods with these crazy black folks. There's just too many of them. They don't get help. They don't get treatment. Is there any help or treatment available? Who knows? I guess they act like ain't nothing they can do. And this happens repeatedly. I was trying to get them help. I was trying to do this. I was trying to do that. I guess it could happen in any neighborhood. But it just seems so odd how it repeatedly happens in predominantly black neighborhoods. Niggerville is a dangerous place. I mean, some of y'all are laughing about this stuff when I bring up Niggerville, but I'm dead ass fucking serious about Niggerville. If you want to live a normal life, you better get as far away from Niggerville. Get you, your kids, your family, your husband, your wives as far away from Niggerville as you can, if it's possible. Living in those areas, your life is at risk every day. Just riding through those neighborhoods. When you live in them neighborhoods, that 19-year-old girl who was kidnapped a year ago, or last year, if that's the same victim, she remained in Atlanta. I think I would have got the fuck about it. When they let him out of jail on bond, I think I would have left Atlanta. I'd have been someplace where he never knew where I was at. This man was bold enough to go and take a gun and kidnap her from some store. What I don't understand is, how the fuck did he get a bond on that such a violent charge? Taking someone from your job, and then this time around he actually killed her. If this is the same victim, which I'm pretty sure probably is the same victim. I'm pretty sure of that. Well, I don't know, y'all. I just report these stories. I know I do know. I do know that I said I would report more positive stories in the black community. It's hard to, you got all this crazy shit going on. It's like, this is too good to pass up on. This crazy man that ran out his house, the first story, the first news, he ran out his house with a gun and shot 4 innocent people he didn't know. He didn't know any of these people. They were just neighbors. They probably didn't even know that crazy man was over there. Or they may not have known how crazy he was. And the mother, when she talks about her son, he was a paratrooper. He was a sergeant in the military. He had all this education of some type. Then he started suffering from PTSD. Now, the military has the VA. I could be wrong about this. Don't know, because I know a lot of people in the VA. I know a lot of ex-military people who suffer from PTSD, and they get treated, and they go to class. They have to do a bunch of stuff through the VA, mental health treatment and all kinds of stuff. But I guess she's right. They can't force someone to do something that they don't want to do. They have to do it on their own. But I do know people who suffer from PTSD. I have a friend and an associate. We used to be really close. But he got so fucking crazy, I just had to say, okay, this ain't working. I had to really distance myself from him because he was suffering from PTSD and just a lot of stuff. And I just said, let me leave this man alone. And he would call me with all this crazy shit. And I just said, oh, this nigga crazy. He was crazy. Literally. But he don't think he was crazy. He would stalk these women. There was some incidents where he was stalking these women that he was dating, like really stalking them. And I would talk to him and say, dude, why are you doing this? I guess these women would find out just how crazy he was, and they would begin to distance themselves from him because he was a nutcase. But a nice looking guy, though. That's the killer part. Very nice looking. That nigga was crazy as hell. I'm curious to see this 20-year-old who kidnapped this 19-year-old girl. I'm curious as to why he got a bond, how he was out on bond, who gave him a bond, to allow him back on the streets to do this a second time. And then this time around, he actually killed his ex-girlfriend. I'm 1,000% sure this is probably the same victim that he kidnapped before. And that's something, you kidnap a person, threaten to kill him, kidnap a person from their job, of all places. You end up they arrest you, and you get out on bond to go do it again. And this time, he was able to actually kill the victim. Figure that one out. Now, I better be careful. Well, I know the Niggerville series is kind of, we laugh about this stuff, y'all. I know y'all get a lot of laughter and funny stuff out these Niggerville videos. But this is a very serious subject matter when we look at our communities and we see, and there were a couple of other stories I could have added in here, but they were close to 10 minutes worth of news stories. But I wanted to get the story in, Manny, about this crazy man who shot those 4 innocent people out there in Hampton, Georgia. I'll probably loop back around to this 20-year-old who killed this 19-year-old girl, kidnapped her from a job because that video was so small. I'm curious to know, like I said, how he got on a bond, what the situation was. It just don't make no sense for people to, it don't make no sense for people to, I better be careful out there, Niggerville. I mean, seriously, there's some crazy folks out there. Just bee buzzing around here or something. Y'all better be careful out there. Like I said, we kind of laugh. Some of you all find these videos kind of humorous, but this subject matter is very serious. I mean, we got 5 people dead here in Atlanta just over the weekend, fooling around with these crazy niggas. 4 innocent people didn't even know who the person who shot them was. They have no clue. You know, we have some very crazy people running around the black community with no help, no treatment, no nothing, a lot of medications, no untreated mental illness. A lot of them. And we can't ignore this. We can't keep people on the road waiting for the. And then when the mother was talking, she thought, how do you find comfort? And she was another religious Christian crazy motherfuckers. I said, oh, another crazy. And that's another problem. They're so busy. Did she really actively try to get this man help? Or was she waiting on Jesus to come and resolve his problems? I just wonder. What did she do? Did she call the police department? Did she do anything? When she found out that nigga had a gun over there, did she know he had weapons like this? And there was another video where he was shot and killed at, where he jumped out the woods naked. That nigga was crazy. No treatment, no medications, no help, no nothing. And a community over there not realizing there's a ticking time bomb next door to them. And y'all wonder why I don't want to live in them horrible ass areas. And that wasn't a horrible area either. That was a very, I would say, a middle class black neighborhood. People have homes. They looked like they were well maintained. They just didn't know they had a crazy man living next to them. They may have known. I don't. You just wonder. You just have to wonder about that. Well, anyway, it's because I put in so many of those news articles. There was a lot of stuff. There has a ton of stuff that y'all. A lot of crazy shit that happened here in Atlanta this weekend. These two stories take the cake, though. You know, this man shooting and killing somebody, 4 innocent people. This man kidnapping his ex-girlfriend, shooting and killing her ass, shot her several times. You can't find another girlfriend? All these billions of women walking around on planet Earth? Billions of them? That doesn't make much sense to me. I don't get it. But I guess it's, again, when you're dealing with people who are mentally ill, you can't make something, you can't. They just crazy as hell. But anyway, this video, this is 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to try to complete this video an hour ago, but I was too busy downloading the news articles, and I was these stories kind of frightened me. You just don't know who's living in your neighborhoods. This neighborhood I live in, ain't nobody over here. I rarely see any of the neighbors. A lot of vacant houses over here. Not sure why. They maintain the houses, cut the grass, but anybody living in some of these houses are just empty. There's something about the house, there are a couple of the house across the street from me is empty. But she passed away around Christmas time. She was 95 years of age. Her daughter was in town and they taking care of her. I guess she went back to California because I see the house is empty over there now. Nobody's over there. When I ride through this neighborhood, I've seen a prime example. This house I live in right now, it was empty for almost a decade. Nobody lived here. I'm not sure why people would keep these houses empty like this, because when you have a house empty like this, the home deteriorates because you don't turn on the heat and air, you don't use the plumbing, the water, it just rots from the inside. Be careful out there in Niggerville, y'all. That's all I can say. Take these situations serious. Watch your surroundings. Be careful who you date. These young men are crazy. These men will kill a black woman in a heartbeat without even, they don't care anymore. This has been going on for a minute now. How these men will kill their ex-wives, ex-girlfriends, wives that they married to. I forget that's last year. Maybe it was early this year, last year, that out in Texas, this guy was in a recruiter, shot and killed his wife. Man, that was some crazy stuff. Then they showed him. They ended up shooting and killing him. I don't know. You have to wonder what can be done about these type of situations, if anything. But they're just ticking time bombs. You may not realize how crazy people are until it's too late. Anyway, it is Monday. It is July 17th. The year is 2023. On the last video, I said 2022, but we are definitely in 2023. And it's definitely Monday. It's definitely July 17th. And them niggas crazy. Definitely crazy as fucking hell in Niggerville. Be careful. Anyway, I look forward to reading y'all's comments and thoughts and opinions on this crazy mess. And what, if anything, could be done. In the case of that 20-year-old who shot and killed, he should have never been out on bond. Ever. He should never. I don't understand how this man could be charged with kidnapping. What he did last year, and then they allow him to get out on bonds, and he goes back and does it a second time. I'm pretty sure it's the same victim. We'll be hearing something more about that later on today, because all that happened on the weekend, last night, as a matter of fact. All right, anyway, I'm out of here Monday, July 17th, the year 2023. Go get your live Powerball Lifetime. We'll give you a 9 right now. I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful Monday.